Okay, hello. I think I'm live and I don't know if anybody's there, but if you are, welcome to this live streaming where soon enough I'll be joined by Dimitri, the green nerd. There he is in Switzerland. Hi, Dimitri.
Hey,
Hi.
good evening.
That's okay. We're well on time here and
Yeah,
we've got 10 viewers so far.
this timing.
Yes, yes. So how are you today?
I'm great. We moved the last furnitures of when right now, and now it's done.
Okay, well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. And I'm here with Dimitri in Switzerland from the Green Nerd channel. And we are, I suppose, Dimitri, the first question I really have for you is where have you been on YouTube? What's been going on with you? Why haven't we had videos from you?
Well, actually, it's a bit unfortunate. I broke the camera on my phone, and since I was using my phone to make the videos. I don't have a camera. I pretty much just broke the tool I used to make my videos, and I went to ask about a repair, but apparently on iPhone you cannot just replace the camera. You have to replace the phone, and that's a bit of money. And lately, with work and with life, as you know, like private, I have a lot going on, so it was not really the right time to spend money for that. So, well, yeah, I had to take a step back from YouTube, but I will come again.
Oh, no. So we on YouTube have to suffer for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope you will find a solution
It's
soon.
the same for Instagram. I haven't been posting any picture on Instagram anymore because there is always this little, like the two broken parts on the image, and that spoils it.
I think you're a perfectionist.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like it disturbs me. Like I'm not perfectionist in the way like how I do my video, what I'm saying and stuff. But I see at least like if there is two big broken pieces of the camera on the video, I think it's a shame. So yeah.
Oh, I hope you find a solution soon. Dimitri, I've just got here the comments up and we have a stream of people. Yes.
Yes.
What are you doing there? So we've got lots of people making comments. Adam Rogers, My Green Pets, Erica Patterson, various people just saying hello and welcome and hello, kids. That one I really appreciate. Thanks. My point of view. And yeah.
Liga is there too. But the jewel is there.
All right. Okay. That's great. Thanks to everybody for joining in. And yeah, but before we get on with the questions, Dimitri, would you like to give us just a little bit of, well, a show and tell to do with your green wall that's there behind you so tantalizingly?
Sure, let's do that. So let me take the phone. Earthquake. So, well, I will start from the bottom. This is the aquarium, the tank. I don't know if you can see it.
Now this is new. This did not feature on your channel at all, did it?
No, it was just an empty tank at first with no fish, no plants, no lights. And well, I've been working, you know. See, I don't do videos, but I still work.
Wow.
I'm really happy with the look of it. I think something's missing here in that corner, down there and there, so I will get more plants. But yeah, I think it's looking really good. I used two colors, like green and also everything that's a bit reddish, and I think it's really a nice combination. Not too complicated, but well, I think it looks good. I don't know what.
And good textures as well. You've got a variety of textures in there.
Yes. Actually, it was also a fortunate mistake because I ordered plants on internet for the aquarium, and they did it wrong, and they got me a lot of this nymphea, so water lily, a lot of the same, but actually they're not the same. One is green with these red patches, and the other one is red, and I have it all over the tank, and I think it looks good like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps to have some echoing of plants, whether it's in a border or in a fish tank. It looks better if you can repeat something.
Yes.
in different places. And am I correct in saying that this is actually powering the watering of the plants on your green wall?
Yes, actually there is a pump in it that sucks the water up the wall, and the water runs down it and goes back to the aquarium. And that's also how I filter the water for the fish.
Wow. Wow.
Low tech, but it works.
I'm saying YouTube needs you. Come back soon. We want to hear all about it.
Yes, I want to go back on YouTube, make more videos. And, well, actually, let me change I think it's not that bad. You see, people, why I'm not doing videos because of that bit there and that bit there here. But I think it's not that obvious, so I can show you like that one. That's the green wall. And I got quite a few more orchids too.
Oh, great. Great.
And yes. Yeah. There's not much going on.
A lot of orchids on mounts there.
Yeah, most of them are on mounts. I'm actually putting up another section elsewhere in my apartment to put more orchids, mounted orchids there. And I will make something a bit nicer on the green wall because I think like all the mounts like that looks a bit messy. So I really want to try to compose something with plants.
Well, they look a bit uniform, don't they? Like all the same shape, and you want a variety, really. So
here I want a bit more variety and composing with plants, and all the mounts I will put in another section in the flat, and I will present them like if they were maybe like pictures.
Wow.
Frame pictures. So we will see. We will see. A lot.
And the mounds aren't watered by the filtration system, are they not?
No.
You have to do them separately.
Yeah, I spray them, but it's good because of the green wall. I'm not afraid of water, so I just spray them every day.
Right.
I get them soaked, and I know people don't like to get their orchids wet, but I don't really mind.
Yeah.
So far, no rot, no problems. So.
Ah, looks fabulous. Looks really, really great.
Thank you. I see you have a lot of things in flower behind you.
I have a few things in flower, and I have an orchid video coming very soon. I wanted to actually publish it yesterday, but I thought it might detract from the live streaming, so I've kind of held it back. But yeah. So a few things, and Christmas cactuses in flower. That's what we have here.
Yeah.
So, oops. Yeah.
Really orange or red.
It's not actually. It's the light. It's not. It's pink.
All right.
We have the Cattleya. This one, the Baurinjana, is in full flower at the moment. So when you see the video tomorrow, it will show it just beginning to open, but now it's in full flower. So.
Looking forward to it. I see Zane joined us. Hi, Zane.
Hi, Zane.
No, you didn't miss anything. We just started.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so are we gonna do some questions?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna say ladies first, so you can start.
All right, we'll set the tone, shall we? Okay. Right. So I have a question for you.
Nervous.
Okay, so my question is, we all know that you have a green wall and you've just shown it to us, and a very impressive thing it is too. And it's in your apartment.
Yes.
And that means people who visit get to see it. And I believe it's actually visible from the windows in the apartment on the outside. So it must get quite a reaction from people, especially people who aren't particularly into growing plants. And my question is, have you ever had a surprising or funny reaction to your green wall?
I think I had a few. The first thing is like when I have friends coming over, especially the Swiss friends, the local friends, the first question that pops into their mind when they see that is, do you have problem with humidity? Like they're afraid that there will be mold everywhere, and that's always the first question.
Yeah.
And I find it funny that's mostly from the Swiss people. Other people don't, not so much, but really the Swiss, like I don't know if we're obsessed about molds here or but that's one. And then yes, as you said, people can see it from outside because I'm ground floor. And I'm right next to the road, and that road is quite busy in the day because there is the cable car that goes on the mountain next to me, and it's a famous mountain. A lot of tourists go there, And I
This
can
is
see
the mountain with dragons, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dragon Mountain, the Pilatus. And yeah, I can see that sometimes people, when they come down, they look in the window and then like that. And sometimes there was I thought it was really funny. There was once a man who came and he was like shocked to see that, and he stood there like for at least 5 minutes. And well, and in the end I had to say something because I was there in the living room, so I just hi, and he just made he just looked at me and went like like that. That was funny.
Quite a reaction then.
I guess a lot of people are quite surprised. And I know that a few people in the neighborhood that I don't know, but I guess when they walk their dogs or they pass through here, and I know that every time they pass here, they will just give a look at what's new and if anything changed or yeah.
Yeah. And if they ask you questions, what kind of questions do they ask? Like, why? Why is that?
Yeah. So what is it and why? And what kind of plants? Oh, that makes me the funniest one. Actually, I forgot about that. One day I was here in the living room in the evening watching TV, and then someone knocked on my window.
Right.
And it was three young people, and they asked me in Swiss dialect, like they were like, "Oh, hey brother, do you have anything to smoke on your wall?" And I was like, "No."
Oh no.
Because I have these lamps, the plant lamps that are red, you know.
Right.
I just let them go in the day because I don't like the color. When I'm not here, after I come back from work, they're already off, and it's just the white ones. But I guess it's for that. And they came and they asked, "Hey brother, do you have anything to smoke on that wall?"
And you said, "I'll shoot you if you touch my plants," right?
Yeah, don't smoke my plants.
Very funny.
Yeah, but yeah, most of the time it's like, what is this and why? And then I tell them because my hobby, I'm passionate about plants, and that's my hobby. And what kind of plants? And I say, yeah, most of them are orchids because orchids usually grow on trees, not in the ground. And well, it's really basic, the chit chat. But I guess so far no negative reaction besides the, do you get mold?
Yeah.
But it's true that in winter with the heating on and it's warmer, I have to open the windows several times a day. Otherwise, it really smells like wet.
Well, I mean, I had humidity trays in my kitchen at one stage, and I got mold in the corners of the room. So I had to stop using them indoors in winter time. Now, I believe that if you get mold, a lot of it can be down to the construction of your house. Rather than
it's an old house, it's not really insulated, and yeah. But as long I usually before I go to work, I open the window 5 minutes here, and then when I come back to work from work, also 5 minutes, and then before going to bed, another 5 minutes, and so far everything is okay.
Okay, so mostly like 24 hours a day, you really don't think of your plants at all, do you?
I do. That's the. When I'm at work, I'm thinking, oh, when do I finish? I want to go back to see my plants.
And open the window and everything you need.
You know, I always have new ideas popping up, and oh yeah, I could do that, or I could have that, or it's dangerous.
Of course. But that's that's the joy of a hobby that we're really passionate about, isn't it?
Yeah. I am. Maybe have a look at the comments if we missed some questions. Thank you, Fernanda. Yeah, I miss doing videos as well. People don't need weeds because we have our plants. Yeah, that's true.
Dimitri, how did you build the green wall? I really want to steal that idea. I think somebody is going to have to wait until you come back. And
yes, I will say that I will do like a tutorial video on how I made it, but it's not the most effective way to do it. but now I realized because what the small problems I had. But I will do one. I always said that when I hit a bit more subscribers, I will do a video like that so I can get to more people at one time. But yeah, I guess that after I go back on YouTube, when I fix my camera, I will do such a video because it's always coming back, this question.
Promise?
Promised. Also
Great.
have to do a giveaway. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I also have to do a giveaway.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'm going to win all your plants.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to say hello to William Green from My Green Pets. And,
hey, William. Hi. How was yours?
Yes. Yes, I hope it went swimmingly. Hope you'd loads and loads of people checking in for your talk with the RHS judge. Or, no, sorry, it's not RHS in America, but you know what I mean.
The American Orchid Society, I guess, AOS.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Dimitri, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, so that's my turn.
Yes, go.
So, I know you well, and as I see, you're quite an accomplished plant person because you started by your garden, then you wrote in the Irish Garden magazine, and then you had your book, and in the same time you had your YouTube channel. And my question is about accomplishment. At what time did you think that, did you ever have the feeling that you made it? That, okay, I'm not a beginner anymore. Now I can say things, I can give advice. Like, was there an event that told you, okay, I'm not an accomplished plant person?
Was there an event that made me think I'm now an accomplished plant person? That's actually a tricky one because, I mean, at this point in time, I am aware of my shortcomings and my abilities. And I think no matter what point you're at in life, there's always, and whatever the subject is, there's always some elements of it that you don't know a lot about. Like, for example, you showed an aquarium there with underwater plants. I don't know anything about them. I've never researched them. So there are always areas where you can be tripped up and areas that you need to learn on. And I guess that's why it's such a wonderful hobby, because it's that broad. Gardening is that broad, and loving plants is that broad, that there's always something else that kind of whet your appetite and gain your interest. Yeah. And I mean, I've been interested in plants, I guess, maybe about 20 years. 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. So it's been gradual. Like, I started out not knowing anything and kind of built up information as I went on and built up knowledge. And yeah, so I mean, it's not that you ever get to a point that you think one day, oh, look at me, I'm brilliant, I know a whole lot of stuff. In real life, nobody ever gets to that, I don't think. But I am aware that, for example, when I go to the gardening shows and answer questions, field questions from people, that, you know, I know the answers to, say, 85% of gardening questions that will come my way in such an event.
And also, you open your garden to the public.
Yeah, and that's nice.
Feel a bit confident about yourself to do that.
Well, it's nice because sometimes people who are very interested in plants come along, and you can, you know, strike up friendships that way. And it's lovely to talk to people who share similar interests, which is why the two of us got along so well in the beginning, that we might be interested in different plants, but there is overlap there, and that's wonderful. I mean, I suppose when I published my book, it's not that I felt I'd reached some kind of plateau of achievement, but I did feel very happy that I'd done that, because it had always been an ambition of mine to publish a book. So when I actually did that, that was really nice. Yeah. And just plugging my book here, if anybody hasn't bought it, you really should buy it.
Oh yeah, it's a really, really good read.
Yeah. So does that answer your question?
I think so. I mean, because although I think I have a few knowledge, but I feel, for example, I feel so far away from writing a book myself. I don't think I'm there.
You think that, but actually you might surprise yourself, because actually I know the extent of your knowledge on a variety of gardening subjects, and it really is quite in depth. And the thing is, like, until you're actually pushed to write something, you think you can't do it.
Yeah.
But actually, I think if you were pushed, you'd rise to the challenge.
It could be the same about the YouTube videos.
Yeah, well,
until you start to do it, you say, I know I cannot, I don't know what to say. But then you start and it goes.
You were a bit apprehensive in the beginning, weren't you, really, about starting?
You pushed me quite a lot.
Really? Did you feel that? Did you feel that shove all the way from Ireland?
A little bit, but it was all good. No, I'm really glad I started. It's just a shame now, but really I want to be more involved in the YouTube community. And for me, that's the next step, like to be a bit more serious YouTuber. And then the big next step will be to get one day to get a garden.
Yeah.
That's dream.
Yours, isn't it, to have your garden? And I can't wait to see your garden, because when you have your garden, I'm going to come along. I'm going to be so critical. It's going to be terrible.
Oh, not 1 week must be left.
I'm only joking.
I know.
Oh, very good. Okay, listen, I have another question for you. Okay. This is a good one. Have you ever had any plants stolen from you? And if so, what did you do about it?
You know me, yeah. Yes, well, in this summer I had quite the misfortune of, I have my outdoor display of succulents and other plants that do well outdoors in pots. And it's actually not my area, it's the common area of the building. But since I'm ground floor, I just put them under my windows, and so far nobody said anything. Touch wood. And yeah, this summer, a few of my plants, actually I think about 10 plants were stolen. And well, it bumped me quite hard. I mean, I was not feeling really well. I didn't want to come back home, because it was not even about the money. It's just like, why? And then, you know, I care so much about my plants that, yeah, I really felt bad. And then we had suspicion that it was one of my neighbors. And I just bluffed. I just wrote a little note to say that actually that person was recognized, and that they had 1 week to bring me back all the plants, otherwise I would go to the police. And that I had photographic proof.
Evidence.
Evidence.
And where did you put this note?
On the door, on the main door.
On your door?
On the main door of the building.
Right, right.
And it didn't really work, because I think the person came to me, but they came to me to talk about something else. But then I pushed a little bit to get them to just spit it out. And
you knew who it was, really.
Yeah. Well, and then after that, I had the video camera filming the plants 24 hours a day, because I was so scared they will start again. But yeah, they brought back the plants. Well, almost all of them. There was one that they swear they didn't steal. Well, what can I do?
Yeah. But it was a good result then. I mean, you got the majority of your plants back.
Yeah, I guess it is. No. And yeah, well, I hope. That's why I wish, when I will have a garden, I won't have any plants outdoor here, because it's not my space, and just too much. Yeah.
People can steal plants from your garden too, though. Watch out when you have your open day, because you have to watch out for nice ladies with umbrellas. Yeah, because they take the plants and they put them in the umbrella.
To be honest, I wonder if the open garden concept is really happening here in Switzerland, because I knew it from the show Gardener's World, and I know it from you, but I never heard that.
France as well.
Well, I never heard here that you can visit private gardens.
No.
Maybe I'm not in the circle yet. That's why.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should start it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Rendezvous au Jardin in France, and they have, it's pretty similar.
Okay.
Although the standards are different, like it's different. Well, I mean, you know, whatever country you go to,
Yeah.
there's a different kind of view of gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, because going back to your plants there, your succulents, they need to be outdoors, don't they? In the summer, they need to take advantage of that sunshine, and you need a safe place to put them. So, yeah, well, at least you solved the problem with one thief.
One thief, yeah. Let's hope there won't be any other one.
Well, of course, everybody listening in now will know where you live, and they'll come along and steal your plants.
Yeah. Well, the orchids are indoors, so no chance.
Oh dear.
All right.
Oh.
Are there any interesting comments?
I'm just
on the table. That's for
somebody here says, Meeks, I think Dutch guy says, we plant people don't need weed because we have our plants.
Yeah, okay. It's our drug.
It's our drug, yes. And just as addictive, or more so even.
Yeah, sorry. Did I ask why they did that? Actually, that person is an alcoholic, so I don't think that even if they had a reason, it wouldn't be a good reason. Liga just sent a comment to ask me if I asked them why they did it. And I asked, of course, but what he told me is like, because they were outside, he thought that I didn't want them anymore. That's why he took them. But on the other hand, he sees me every day taking care and making nice pots and making nice furniture.
An excuse, he said, to justify why he took them. He didn't really think that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that person, because being an alcoholic, I mean, it's a disease. But I just have to protect myself. I already told that person that I don't want to have anything to do with them anymore, and they just don't bother me anymore. Otherwise, I will fight back. So,
yeah, you did fight back. I mean, fighting back doesn't always involve violence or physical.
Yeah, of course not. Well, I'm not a violent person, but I didn't get him into trouble. I didn't report him to the landlord. Well, now we know it's a him, sorry. I didn't report him to the landlord. I didn't report him to the police, because I could have had, I mean, even if it's something cheap, when you steal something, it's still stealing. So from the law, I could have done that. But I mean, I'm sure that poor person has already a lot of problems since he's an alcoholic. So I didn't want just to push him down, and as long as now it's all good, I won't do anything. But of course, if he bothers me again, then I will have to.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, you're understanding his position, but you're saying quite firmly from your point of view that, you know, really he needs to leave you alone, and you've drawn the line. So
he wanted to buy me plants and buy me dirt for my plants and stuff, and I just told him, you know, it's not worth it. Just, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Just don't talk to me anymore. Don't see me anymore, and we're okay. We don't have a war.
Okay. Right. Okay, and I've taken note not to steal your plants as well. Yeah. Okay. Oh dear.
You must be happy he didn't watch them YouTube videos where people eat cactus plants. Yeah, right. Otherwise, there is
have you seen those videos?
Yes.
They really eat the plants.
They're crazy.
You could kill yourself, I think.
Well, depends what you eat. I guess if you eat an euphorbia.
Well, yes, yes, because the people doing this don't really know what they're eating. Really, they just know they're doing a challenge. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Well, these people are not in the YouTube plant community, according to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and Lucy the cat says, Beverly says, post a note saying that you're under video surveillance, which I think is, yeah, you got to cover.
Orchidaholic came. Is that Alberto?
It must be Alberto. Yes, that's Alberto. Hello, Alberto.
Hi, Alberto.
Hello to those dears. Okay.
I'm so jealous of his life.
I know all his posts on Instagram and Facebook in Kew Gardens. So jealous. Did you see the massive cattleya he has on his profile picture on Facebook at the moment?
I mean, the first thing I watch on the bus going to work in the morning is his Instagram story because there's so much plants.
Yeah, that's right. And several people have started doing that, doing a whole kind of like a video in the story on Instagram, and Alberto's doing it and doing it as well. It's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't earn you any money, but it's interesting.
All right, so I guess it's my turn.
Yes, go on.
So my second question is, to what? Well, how can I formulate that? Like, what have you done for a plant or for a plant? To what extent did you go to get one or to do something for a plant that other people would think you're crazy?
Well, I suppose people who aren't into plants would think I'm crazy for spending the amount of money I do on plants in the first place. Yeah. I mean, you know, when we place orchid orders, it's €100, isn't it? Or more sometimes. And people who aren't interested in plants are going to. But I'll tell you, I've had a number of people staying here over the last year, people who've come to help with the garden on the workaway scheme. And mostly they're not interested in plants or gardening. And they step into the house, and you know what my house is like, Dimitri. I mean, there are plants in every single room, and they look, and then I take them out and we look at the greenhouse, and then we walk around the garden. And then they live with me a little bit, and they understand how when I get up in the morning, I check this plant and I check that plant and I water the mounts or whatever. And I can tell that they're just thinking you're completely mad. And sometimes I just turn and say, yes, I know, I'm completely mad. It's true.
Well, there is something you do that even as a plant person, I still think is a bit much.
What's that?
When you take plants on holidays with you.
Oh, well, yes, I do that. And it started, we used to always go on holiday the first week in June, and like, you know, your seedlings, you start your seedlings in March or whatever, and your seedlings are just getting to the stage where they're saying, I'm going to stick around, I'm not going to die at that stage. But you need to check them every single day. So we used to always go to Kerry in the south of Ireland the first week in June, and I would have had to abandon my seedlings. So I used to always put them in the boot of the car because I'm holidaying within Ireland, and bring them. So it was a standard joke in my family when we'd be packing for going on holiday, and the kids would ask me, well, have you decided which plants you're bringing on holiday this time?
Well, I know that you take also seedlings, orchids abroad when you go abroad.
Yes, yeah, well, within the EU you can do that, and I brought my mounts abroad when I went to Portugal at Christmas time. And I remember when I got Vandas first, and we all know Vandas should ideally be watered every day. And I'd just gotten this Vanda, and we were going down to Kerry. And it was a big thing. It was a Caerulea. It was an enormous thing. And I was going to bring it down to Kerry to water it. And I was in discussion with the guy who'd given it to me. And I said, well, you know, I'll put it on the roof rack in the car. And he said, no, he said, just, it'll be fine. Leave it. He thought I was mad. Oh dear. But yeah.
That's what we can do for our plants. I mean,
and I always bring plants back from holiday, but I know you're in that club as well. Yeah.
Especially now that I saw that our border doesn't really check that severely, so it's easier to smuggle stuff in. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You just said that. Well, you see, I'm just talking about within the EU, which is all perfectly acceptable, you know.
Yeah. Switzerland, although it's right in the middle, it's not in the EU, so. But yeah. Someone said, how about this for crazy? I am moving across the country in a few months and I am buying a van just to bring my orchids and dogs with me. I refuse to ship them.
Wow. That is dedication.
Depends how many you have, it must be cheaper to rent a van.
Wow. That's Elaine Trostinsky. I presume you're in the States, Elaine? Wow. And then William underneath says, Elaine, same with me. When I moved to Colorado, my orchids were in the back seat all the way. Well, that's okay. In the back seat of the car you're driving in. I mean, you know, that's not mad. That's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. And, oh, well, the best story really about traveling back with plants is when I got my Agave Americana Mediopicta, which is a gorgeous agave with a kind of cream in it. It's a variegated one, cream in it. When I was in France, bless you.
Thank you.
When I was in France one year, I picked up a very large specimen. And we were driving back, and it was very strange because none of the kids wanted to have this prickly plant on their knee coming out of the car. I had to have it on my knee. But, yeah.
I guess when you have a plant person in your circle, you just suffer sooner or later.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I have another question for you now, Dimitri, and this one has two parts to it. Sam said to ask you a question. He says, what's the airspeed velocity of the unladen swallow?
Who sent Sam?
It's okay, never mind. It's a reference to Monty Python. And this is the third question everybody will always be asked. Okay, real third question. Okay, right, so talking of seedlings now, and I know that you grow a variety of plants from seed, and perhaps not everybody knows that about you, but you regularly have numerous amounts of seedlings that you need to nurse and bring through. And
don't mention that.
So the first part to this question is, have you ever germinated something that you're particularly proud of, either because of its rarity or because of the difficulty level in getting it there?
I forgive you starting with that. Actually, I'm going to get that plant.
Okay. I think I know what he's going to bring back. I think I know what it is. It's going to be Worslea. Let's see.
Yes.
See, well, know you.
They're not as big as they should be because I didn't water them properly in summer. But actually, I don't know if you can see the bulb, but it's okay.
Wow.
And the root are well taken.
You need to tell us about this plant because I'm sure there are lots of people watching that don't know what this Worslea is.
This is Worslea porchira. Start with a P anyway. It's the only species of Worslea anyway, so you can Google it. If you go on on eBay, an adult plant can fetch from $300 to $500, and usually one seed is already between $10 and $30 the seed. So I bought 3 seeds from China. And the 3 of them, they all germinated. And now I have 3 seedlings. And actually, I will keep them with my orchids on. Like I told you, I will have another section for the mounts. And I will get them hung there too. Because actually, they have, I think, their needs is quite like orchids. Because they grow on cliffs.
Right.
Directly on the rocks. So like a phytic almost. and they like a good quality water, and I use distilled water for my orchids with a bit of fertilizer, so I think that's gonna do well for them. And they don't like it too much, and now right now I have them on a windowsill on a radiator, so it's not really ideal.
Yeah, yeah.
Possibly they can stand to -3, -4.
Right.
That's
Well,
something you could
not a
try in
seedling
your
anyway. You need to get it well mature before you test it.
Yes. If
But
you grow them well, it's about 5 to 6 years to get them flowering size. And actually, it's like an Hyperastrum or an Amaryllis, but the flowers are blue and enormous.
Yeah, the flowers are amazing, aren't they, on this plant? Yeah.
And even without that, I think the foliage is quite interesting. You don't see it now because they're too small, but the foliage, they're all going the same direction, and they're not flat, they're vertical. They look like a rooster tail.
Rooster tail.
Yeah.
Okay, like the animal.
The tail of a rooster.
Okay. Okay.
Like that size. Wait, go on Google. And it's quite tall too. The bulb grows quite tall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That one I'm really proud that I have it. And
yeah, to actually even find seeds of that plant is
I think it's like all the Amaryllidaceae. If the seeds are really fresh, the germination rate it's really high, and it's not even that difficult to get them to germinate.
But you need to get fresh seed, and then the second you need to sow it. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, okay. And not you wouldn't classify your Amorphophallus, your giant titanium, is it among in that category?
Oh, okay. I can show you that one too. I forgot about that one. Actually, it grew bigger. That's the second leaf now.
Wow.
So it's its second year. And that's Amorphophallus titanium.
Wow.
I can show you the different size because I have two actually.
And of course, anybody who follows Alberto, he has just witnessed the one flower in Kew Gardens, which broke the world record for the biggest flower. Look at those leaves. Fantastic.
So that's 1 year of seedling because that seed germinated later. Hey, and I'm seeing.
It's so big for a year, isn't it?
There is a second shoot.
Oh, who knew would do that? Maybe a little bulbul to the side or something?
Maybe, because actually that's the first seed I got, and I planted it outside, and it was the summer of last year, and we had a cold spell, and they don't like that. And the seed was germinating, but then the shoot rotted. And then I bought the second seed, and I put the two of them because I saw that the seed was still quite firm. The seed didn't rot, just the shoot. So I put them in the same pot, and at first only the new one germinated, which is this one, and it grew quite well. And now that's the second year. And this one, I think, almost like 4 or 5 months later, it shooted up again.
Wow. So, amazing. So you keep them for a bit longer before you donate them to the Botanic Gardens.
Yeah, and actually there is a plant nursery here in Lucerne that specializes in weird plants, and I know they're willing to buy special plants for quite a nice price. So maybe one I will give and one I will sell.
A little pocket money to buy something else.
Yeah.
Very good. Listen, I'm going to move on to the second half of that question because you have to leave at 8 o'clock, don't you?
No, we can.
Seed purchases, and if so, why? Oh gosh, I didn't mean this to be a hard one. Even if it's not a particular seed purchase that you regretted, might one suggest that perhaps the number of seed purchases
more
might be regrettable.
Like, because when you went on that topic, I was a bit embarrassed because actually I am quite good at germinating the seeds, but I'm not good at growing them on. Usually I always kill the seedlings.
No.
So I'm like what you say, what I regret, maybe sometimes I regret that I buy so many seeds, then I don't have the space or I don't have the time to take care of them, and most of them just die. But still, I germinated them.
Yeah.
But like, oh, for example, all the monolith streptocarpus.
No.
No.
I
Let
still
them. I let them dry out, and yeah.
Ah. Well, I have to put mine on. I've still got them.
Oh, they're looking so good.
They're looking a bit sad now. I really should have. The grandest one, the biggest one, is still like this, tiny.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
mine
kind
stayed
of
tiny
like.
a long time. They didn't move at all.
Yeah, but I kind of, I don't want to pot them on, because if I pot them on, then I've suddenly got 20 pots rather than 2. So it's, yeah. Well, if you're good anyway, since yours went, perhaps you'll find some making their way to Switzerland at some stage or other.
Yeah, please.
Very good. Very good.
Right. Well, my third question. Also, were you done with your?
I was, yes.
Oh, okay, right. So my third question is more like asking about your opinion, because, well, now you're on YouTube for quite a few years. How long has it been?
4 years.
4
years, yeah.
4, huh?
Yeah.
And, well, what do you think about this YouTube community? Well, let's stick to the orchid community. What do you think? Does it bring something? What does it?
I think the orchid community has some very collaborative players, some people who are willing to share and to communicate and to, give new YouTubers a helping hand. And it's a very positive and good thing, but it doesn't apply to everybody in this so-called orchid community.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like real life, isn't it? In any circle that you're in your workplace or wherever, if you're in a particular group or whatever, there'll always be some people who are more welcoming and more helpful, and others that have their own agenda. That's just my take on that. And
do you think that orchid community on YouTube helps to touch more people?
I think it does. I certainly think it does. Now, I mean, I can't really say a lot about Ireland because nobody in Ireland grows orchids. I mean, I think there's about 5 people that grow orchids in Ireland, and they tend to have been born somewhere in like Lithuania or Eastern Europe, so that they came to Ireland with their hobby. It just isn't a thing in Ireland. Yeah. They are not where my subscribers come from. But I do think that the orchid community in general does great work in terms of promoting orchid growing and helping people with all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
And there seem to be lots of young people in the States who actively grow vast numbers of orchids.
Yes, lately I found out a few new channels, and I was also surprised that so many young people. Well, I mean, I'm young too. I mean, some people,
you're young too.
Many people my age, and well, I think that's also I like this about the YouTube community, because I think that if there wasn't any of that, well, with internet it would be a bit easier, but if still you had to go into an orchid society and get to know people, it would be a lot more complicated than just going on YouTube and type something and then, okay, just browsing through videos and maybe you find the thing that hooks you.
Yes. Yeah.
I
think that's the advantage of YouTube in general, not just the orchid community, that it provides that information, and you can get hooked or not get hooked. You take what you want and leave what you want from it, and it's good. Yeah. What is your have your perceptions been since starting YouTube? as a YouTuber?
Maybe I'm not far enough in the thing to have a real opinion, but so far everything was positive. All the comments on my videos about that, like the last few comments, I might not have replied. Sorry. But yeah, all the comments were really, really positive. And although, even though sometimes it was something to say that I had said something wrong or did something wrong, I mean, they were not like pushing, like crushing people down.
Yeah,
It was
they were
like
constructive criticism. Well, everybody's happy enough with that. It's just, I mean, the good thing about having a horticultural channel is that you attract people who are genuinely interested in the hobby, and they'll make appropriate comments. Whereas if you were to have some kind of parody channel or comedy channel, you'd attract a whole range of what's out there, which tends to be lowest common denominator stuff. And you can read terrible comments on YouTube, on other channels that aren't to do with plants. And thank goodness we don't seem to attract those here on orchid or plant channels.
Yeah. So far it was all really positive.
Good.
I think. I was interested in plants since I was really young, but then I lost the interest for a while, and then I came back to it a few years back. And it's after that's when I was doing research on Google about some plants. I guess that some YouTube videos popped up. There is a fly flying around my head since.
Wow.
And
it's all your Morphophallus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the meal.
Yeah.
And in the search, I came around a few videos about orchids and stuff, and then I realized that actually a lot. I think the first YouTuber I was following was Brad, and I think it's the same case for a lot of people. He must have been one of the first really, really big YouTubers about plants.
Yeah.
And I was so jealous of his greenhouse.
Yeah.
I'm still.
You have your wall now, so it's good.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just aware that we're kind of running into an hour now, and people's tolerance for this kind of thing doesn't really extend beyond an hour. But I thought I might challenge you to something since we're here. And this is a new orchid challenge.
All right.
And you're the first one to be challenged, Dimitri.
Oh.
So I challenge you to impersonate an orchid.
Right now.
Yay!
I'm seeing on your Facebook. Okay, that was a Cattleya. Let me think of what another orchid I could impersonate.
What about a bulbophyllum? You kind of impersonating everybody else in the room.
Yeah, it's not the flower I'm impersonating. Well, I don't know, bulbophyllum.
Okay.
Like the lip there. To do that.
What is that one of? Oh dear, very good. That looks like one of those that's beautiful but is going to die on you right now.
Yeah, right.
Very good. Listen, I was thinking, who else do you think we should tag with the orchid impersonation? Who do you think might enjoy to do it?
Can I choose several people?
Go on.
So Zane, of course.
Yeah, I thought Zane too. There you go, Zane.
I would do Track because he likes to do that kind of funny stuff. I don't know if he watches the live stream now, but
we can match.
Should we ask Roger?
Roger, you're tagged.
Yes, Roger. And
yeah, okay. Let's try, what about William from My Green Pets?
yes, of course. Well, he doesn't really show his face usually, so I don't know. Well,
we'll see if he chooses to take it or not.
Someone's saying Zayn Alberto, but Alberto is not doing any videos anymore.
Okay. Oh, hang on. We need a girl in there. There's no girls in there. So second are we. I would say Astrid, but I don't think she's really making videos anymore. So
there's Liga. She still does videos.
Okay, Liga, you're tagged. You have to impersonate an orchid. And
she was already saying to herself, "Oh yes, this is me."
It was him. He chose you, Liga, not me. It was him. Okay. All right. We'll see if if this has legs or not. Okay. All right. So I don't know. Are there any other questions that we need to answer before we finish up? Mine is gone. Yeah. Right. I think people are being very polite and
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to wait 10 seconds because there is about 10 seconds
delay.
Yeah, delay. So
well, maybe we'll just leave it and we'll leave it till the next live stream.
Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah, will you put this video on your channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to put it on your channel too, then you can download it.
If you allow me.
I will, if you're good. Okay. All right. We'll do that then. Well, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as always, Dimitri. And I was a bit apprehensive about the questions you were going to ask me, and it did occur to me beforehand, maybe I should message him and tell him not to mention this or mention that or whatever, but I had no, he's my friend. I trust him.
Yeah, I had the same feeling, although I don't think there is anything bad you could ask about me, but you know, it's always the unknown, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks to everybody for tuning in. Really
thank you very much.
And I hope we've risen to the challenge and entertained. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye from Lucerne, Switzerland.
And bye from Wexford, Ireland. Bye.
Bye.